Hello Giants fans, welcome to Giants Baseball 101. I'm Gabe Vaughn, your host. Sorry about my voice, I was calling balls and strikes today, so it might be a little, today, but anyway. The Giants beat the Padres 11-9 today. Sean Manaea started the game. He gave up 2 runs in 3.1 innings, so it was a solid day for him. Kyle Harrison also pitched 1 inning, gave up 1 run. It's clear to me that Harrison isn't ready for the next level yet. That doesn't mean that he's not a prospect who can make an impact in the immediate future. It just means that he definitely should start the year in the minors, and I think he should get special attention in the training and just get in the work he needs so that as soon as possible he can be ready for the majors. But the key on Harrison is going to be not to break him into the bigs ahead of schedule, ahead of where he's ready. Same thing, by the way, would apply to the other prospect everybody's excited about, Marco Luciano. If he, and I don't know right now if he's going to be ready soon or whatever, but the Giants shouldn't push him in the event that he's not. I just think the key thing here is going to be that these prospects don't come in if they don't have their game mastered, but that they just get ready for the big leagues and don't rush things on the process, and just that the Giants coach them and get them in when they're ready to come in. I think if that's all done right, they could be just top performers in the future. And I think that was the thing with Joey Bart. He was kind of brought to the big leagues real early, and he did spend the 2021 season almost entirely in AAA, but he still hasn't had a lot of success in the big leagues yet, and it's not too late for him, don't get me wrong. He could still show up, but I just think the Giants need to be kind of careful with their prospects. Thairo Estrada hit a home run today. His average sits at 222. Right now that's not that high, but he had a triple and a double yesterday, so if he's picking up with the bat, that's great. And Estrada can have just these great outbursts of hot hitting, and if he's picking that up now, hitting for power, that's going to be great. It's going to be big for the Giants. I think you can tell a lot by Estrada, even when his average doesn't show you a whole lot. You can tell a lot from some of those hot streaks, at least with him, because he does have potential, and I think that what's going on with him right now is promising. So even if you don't like his average, total of spring training, it is a small sample. Keep an open mind on Estrada, because I'm pretty excited about what I see from him right now. And I think particularly against left-handed pitching, as a right-handed hitter, he could be pretty useful this year. If nothing else, I think there's a good chance he will be able to hit for a ton of power against left-handed pitching. Austin Wynns, too, hit a home run. His average, I think it's like 143. He's probably getting close to being out of contention for a spot as the opening day backup catcher. But he did show his power today. Whether he'll have a chance to work his way to the big leagues, there could always be an injury at the catcher position. They could call up a third catcher. It's always possible the Giants will decide to start 2023 with 3 catchers. It may not be very likely, but it's always possible. You never know. That could open up a spot for kind of that third guy, whether it's Wynns or Roberto Perez. Blake Sabol had a single today. He seems like he might be on track to end spring training with his average above 500, which would just be excellent. To me, already he's basically proven he belongs on the opening day roster. I think he's kind of made the decision for himself, and my guess is that's what the Giants are going to decide. I just don't see how they could rightly tell Sabol that he didn't make the team. Interesting thing, he was playing left field today. I'd actually forgotten that he could do that, but I guess I do remember that it was said that Sabol could play the outfield. Not a common thing for catchers, but it is just very useful defensive versatility there to be able to play a corner outfield spot like Sabol can. Casey Schmitt, he had a triple and a home run. His average is up. He just keeps on socking that ball, and I mean, it's pretty clear with him, as with Sabol, that he's worked his way onto the opening day roster. And what that's going to mean for the Giants positionally, I don't know. Like David Villar, it's right now, it's pretty clear that VR is not outperforming Schmitt. So it seemed like VR was just about guaranteed the third base job, but if Casey Schmidt's the right way to go with that, then VR I mean, as hard as it would be to do this, he might have to sit on the bench. I mean, either that or Crawford's got to. If Schmitt has rightfully proven himself to be the starter at either shortstop or third base, it means someone else has got to go to the bench. To me, that's the way it's got to happen. If putting VR on the bench is the right call and it's not going to do a lot of damage to him by being there, and probably too, he should be a guy who should get a lot of at-bats whenever possible, like as a pinch hitter in platoon situations or whatever. He should still see action wherever possible, but I see just the same thing as with Joey Bart at catcher. I see with VR a chance of his really being on the bench when 2023 starts. Sometimes you got to make way for the better players. That's just, to me, that's the most straightforward way to manage your roster. So we'll see what happens. The Giants are showing an ability to hit the ball and score runs. They scored 11 today, which I think that's great. They're picking up on the Wynns. Sam Long was sent down to minor league spring training, which it was very reasonable for him to be competing for a spot on the opening day roster, but the Giants rightly saw that he wasn't ready for that he wasn't pitching too well. He was a left-handed starter in the Giants rotation. I think it was, he's been a starter and a long reliever for the Giants. But he's seen work in both roles, but right now if something's wrong with his pitches, that is the right call for him to start in AAA. And the Giants do have a lot of depth at rotation. Probably at least a couple guys anyway will be on the roster who can pitch in long relief. So Long really would have had to kind of prove himself if he was going to make it there. I think that's all to say for today. Thank you for watching. This has been Giants Baseball 101. Please subscribe if you haven't. Also, please comment or ask a question. I'll try to get back to you on that. I'll see you next time on Giants Baseball 101.